In my opinion, it's the most raw, authentic version of content because there are no cuts, there are no edits. Rewind about 2.5 years ago, I was the top live streamer at the time. Launched Live Academy in June, largest live streaming creator ecosystem out there. Over 300 live streamers, done over 100 million in live GMV.
People buy from people they can identify themselves with.
A 10 out of 10 live streamer can go live with a 2 out of 10 product and it's going to completely flop. Versus a 2 out of 10 live streamer can go live with a 10 out of 10 product and do pretty well, right? I wasn't just posting and praying.
Videos are kind of lottery tickets, right? Do like 100 experiments, the live creator will win like 90 of them.
These Twitch streamers, they're some of the biggest, highest paid celebrities out there now.
Crazy.
We're still very, very early. I think in the future, every brand is going to have just a small SEAL Team 6 of live streamers that add $10 million a year plus to their top line.
Okay, welcome Chris. Welcome to the podcast. A small background on how we do this. We do like 15-minute podcasts with very interesting people in the TikTok shop space, and I'm sure you're one of them. I think we can start with you introducing yourself.
Yeah, first of all, appreciate you having me, man. So rewind about 2.5 years ago, I was the top live streamer at the time. Early days 2024, May 2024, April. Launched Live Academy in June. Largest live streaming creator ecosystem out there. Over 300 live streamers. I think we have one of the highest live GMVs of all agencies. Done over 100 million in live GMV.
Very cool. There's not that many people doing live at this level. Live is of course still growing in the US, but like since 2 years, I know like you and the community and like it's the top of the top, especially on the creator lives, right?
For sure. Yeah. We get to work with obviously a lot of the top live streamers, some top live streamers upstairs going live right now at this event. So
where are we at? That's maybe also a cool question.
Where are we at?
Right now.
Yes. Oh, right now. Right now we are in Nashville, Tennessee for the annual 2026 Live Academy Creator Summit. So super
it's
exciting.
very cool. So in the like upstairs, there's people like going live already, doing like mega lives, you call them, like big live streams, and like 2-3 hours the event is starting. So then all the creators are going to come in. There's like 6 brands coming. So very cool event, and we will show some more content of that as well. So I think like on the live streaming side, I think there's a few very important things for people to understand. You have creator lives and brand lives. Could you explain what is the difference between the two?
Yeah, so creator lives are primarily done by at-home live stream creators just going live to earn commissions on, any brand's products really. Whereas brand lives are run on marketing accounts. I would say they have a more produced feel to them. Yeah. It's just a different vibe, right? So a brand selling versus, Sarah who you watch do makeup selling.
I think the interesting thing as well is like if you look at China where live streaming of course is huge, there it's a lot for the brand lives. You have some big creators that have their own like influencer lives as well. But I think the thing which is cool to see in the Western world is that people buy from people they can identify themselves with. And that's why I think creator at home lives are doing well and still will keep doing well for a long time. The very produced lives, they know it's someone that's just really trying to sell. If you have like a more at home feel, somebody that they can relate to, not like a big influencer, not like a very fancy thing, but like it works. I'm not sure what you think, but do you think it's going to keep working for a long time?
For sure. Yeah. I think a lot of people compare us to China and how China is, several years ahead of us when it comes to live streaming and social commerce in general. But I think, like you said, Jasper, one thing that the US market is different. We have a different culture, different buyer behavior, that type of thing. So I think we will see at-home live streamers continue to do extremely well. Of course, there's going to be room for brand lives that are going to do well also. But people like that organic, authentic feel, and they like buying from people. They don't like necessarily. We're also used to commercials. And TV, and we're starting to move past that, which is why you're starting to see the rise of creators and influencers becoming like the biggest marketing medium out there, right?
So and how do you think creator lives are gonna evolve? Because I know when I met you, like in the community, I saw the #1 creator. I was like, oh, this is a cool guy. Let's check out this live stream. And then I think you replied on like my screenshot because I posted it. You were like, yeah, that's not fully my GMV. It was a different GMV, right?
Yeah. You had posted a screenshot from Calidate. It was like 50K in one live stream. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, that's me. But the GMV is not like fully. I'd love to take credit for 50K in one live, but no, that wasn't me.
But back then I know like how you were live streaming. It was more, of course you did what worked, right? It was a little bit of an easier setup. And now we see it evolving year over year, like getting a little bit better. Like where do you think, what is the evolvement you've seen up till now? And where do you think it's going to go for the creator lives?
2024, you saw, I think, over 50% of live streamers, if not a much higher percentage than that, were doing faceless live streams. Yeah. And that worked really well at the time. It was a newer concept in the US market and obviously on TikTok. So that worked really well. Yep. And as time has gone on, we've seen that diminish quite a bit in terms of the effectiveness of a faceless live stream. There are still people that do it. There are still people that have success with it. But more and more of the top live stream creators and the successful live stream creators are showing their face on screen. And I think that just speaks to the authenticity and the connection aspect that the audience wants from people. If they just see a product, it's now, this is just a straight info, it's just a straight commercial, versus if they see someone talking, they can interact, they can engage, they can actually like make, you know, digital eye contact with that person and feel like that person is speaking to them, not like, okay, this person is just trying to sell a product.
And then like I think TikTok has like tried to do this, but I don't think it ever really like happened fully. But how important is like an account or like a creator itself, like them building their name and them being, is it like how much is product and how much is creator?
It's a good question. So I think what's interesting about the question you ask and just kind of like where the future of live streaming is going for at-home live stream creators is that up until this point, it's been very product dependent. Yeah. Right. So obviously, like the top live streamers are pretty consistently the top live streamers, but it is very product dependent. True, yeah. So, you know, a 10 out of 10 live streamer can go live with a 2 out of 10 product and it's going to completely flop. Versus a 2 out of 10 live streamer can go live with a 10 out of 10 product and do pretty well, right? It just out of the blue, and that's just kind of crazy. But we're moving more and more. I think it is becoming more competitive, like everything else does over time, any opportunity. But to a point where we're starting to see that flip a little bit. So now it's becoming more and more about the creators. Product is still, in my opinion, number one when it comes to success on live streams for at-home creators. But we're starting to see that kind of balance out a little bit more. Now, being a creator and doing a great job on your live stream is becoming more and more important than it was before. So I think that's an interesting flip. I think we're going to see personal branding become more and more important for live streamers. I think we're going to see live creators working more closely with brands as opposed to just kind of being a free agent 24/7, like, hey, jump to this product, jump to that product. And in fact, a lot of the top live streamers that we're seeing today are working with brands on a longer term relationship and having a lot of success.
Why is that important? Because, okay, you need to have the relationship. I think like you see it also on the video level, like the relationship does something. Like for live streaming, why is it so important to have that close relationship? How do brands need to approach this? Because I think a lot of brands, video-wise, there's a lot of information out there, right? Okay, they start, they sample, they find the best creators, they give them some retainers, and they do well. Yeah. A lot of brands that I've talked to, the live, they don't really know. They're like, yeah, sometimes it just works randomly, and then they're happy, but it's kind of just leave it up to fate. And if their brand is doing like 5%, 10% of GMV on live, it's okay. If not, they don't know how to get it up.
Yeah, I think live streaming is a lot different. In that respect, a lot of brands are used to just, you know, mass content with short form with creators, and that works well, especially with the GMV Max algorithm. But with live streaming, I think the brands that do the best are the brands that work closely with a couple of very talented creators. On the creator side, you know, they get advantages, competitive advantage with the pricing that they get. They can have giveaways, they can have all these different things. They can have the brands running GMV Max on their live streams, because this GMV Max on lives is still a very new thing. Most people haven't really figured it out. I don't think TikTok has fully figured it out.
Still, they're working on it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. With videos, getting in contact with a creator and like getting him to make a video is doable. Like, okay, you push them a little bit, maybe you pay them something, it's okay. With live streamers, it's like they have a product. They do well with a product for like 1 or 2 months. It is very hard to get those live streamers on your product. And then if your product doesn't work for them, they leave directly. So it's a way longer term collaboration compared to videos where a creator can post 10 videos a day, whatever, 300 videos a month. They have like 20 brands they work with. On live streaming, it's usually 1, maybe 2 brands. So and you're saying, okay, those relationships are getting more and more important, but like the supply of good creators that are available to work on your product is very, very low. And I think, of course, like with Live Academy, there's also some solutions there because you're kind of matchmaking the brands and the creators. How to go about it as a brand? Because I think like getting the trust from those creators without like having a middleman or somebody that the creator trusts is almost impossible.
For sure. And I think there's a couple of things that I want to touch on. So the first thing is I think categorization is starting to become more important with live streaming. It's certainly not the end all be all, and I've never been like a big categorization guy, but we're just seeing it with top creators. They are kind of choosing their lane and sticking to it. And I think one of the mistakes that brands make is they see somebody doing $1 million GMV in a month with an e-bike and they want them to go sell supplements. And it's like, just because they can sell $1 million worth of e-bikes does not mean they can sell supplements well. So I think one of the things that brands should be looking to do is really niching down on the creators that they're looking to work with that really fit their product, their category, target customer demographic, these types of things. And then looking to work with those creators on a close relationship, having that open line of communication, making sure that flash sales are getting up on time. That's the other thing too with live streaming is like, you can't just get a sample for a product and make a video and be done, right? You have to get the product, you have to have flash sales set up. The flash sales are going to expire. You know, you're going to want to try and get giveaways. The brand's probably going to GMV Max. And these things are all things that we're constantly having to monitor, right? There's a lot of moving parts. So that open line of communication is very important. The other thing is, if a brand is working with just mass spamming their product on lives with a bunch of creators, it's going to be a turnoff for creators because there's only so much traffic available for
a product on live.
A product, right?
Interesting. If a brand goes and does their own live streaming and undercuts the live creators, the live creators are like, yeah, if you were gone. Because it's like you're taking their traffic or you're taking their sales and then they are selling at a higher price than the brand. It doesn't make any sense.
That's probably the number one way to piss off one of your live creators is just to undercut them on your brand live.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of make a choice as a brand. Do we want to, is the brand live going to be our primary method of scale, or do we want to scale with creators? From what I've seen, the scale with creators has been better than the scale with a, singular.
Yeah, I mean, you can mix them. If your brand live is like a separate, like once a week occasion where you like at least brief everybody well, maybe don't undercut them, but like do something else, do giveaways or
for sure
something. Like there's a balance.
Yeah, I'm not trying to say like don't do both. Yeah. I'm just saying like it's best probably to do both, right? It's best to not just pick the brand side or just pick the creator side, but you have to find that symbiotic relationship between the two where the brand, like you said, doesn't have better pricing because that's for sure going to turn off.
There's not that much information out there. I think that's also why Live Academy it's so exciting that like brands can come and like get everything kind of set up and get it from creators without having to figure everything out themselves, because live streaming is just more difficult. Like you said, flash deals, the what product you choose, bundles, like how to set everything up. And then also how to find those creators that are like very low supply, that are like available to jump on a new product. I think that's also what Live Academy does, right? How does Live Academy help creators, but also like the brand?
Creator matchmaking is a huge part of what we do, right? And it's how we help the creators be successful. Going back to what I said earlier, product selection is it's actually a core pillar of success on live streams, right? And then on the brand side, it's like, okay, with this brand, these are the creators that we think will do best with this product. So if they're not currently crushing it with something, let's try and have them test this out. Let's try and see if we can get them onto this, something that's going to be successful for them over longer term, and then work closely with the brand and the creator to, if there's adjustments that need to be made, maybe, hey, we just need to adjust the price just a hair. Once we get below that $40 mark, the conversion skyrocket. So can we keep doing that consistently? Things like this, but also on the TikTok side, like utilizing resources from TikToks. And if it's a pop brand, knowing, hey, there's a pop team that has budget. Can they allocate some of that budget to this creator, which in turn benefits the brand because that's not coming out of their pocket?
Yeah, I think that's so interesting for me, because I think on the live streaming side, that relationship between brand, agency, creator is so obvious compared to like on video and other sides. It's still there, but it's not as obvious as with live streaming. Everybody has their own spot of value in like that collaboration, and you can, of course, a brand and a creator can work directly. Like what Live Academy does, I think, and connecting the two, there's like really an added value. Also in the collaborations and like from the creator side and from the brand side.
Yeah, 100% on all sides, and we have access to all the data as well. So, especially if brands are working with several of our creators, we can kind of be the funnel for communication, and we can see everyone's data, what's working, what's not working. We can make recommendations to the brand, make recommendations to the creator, where if it's just a brand and creator, they have less data or they have less time to analyze that data.
If you don't know how to talk to creators, how to manage them, a lot of brands I see like just mess it up. They don't know how to do it. They forget to set up a flash deal, but they don't know how much impact it has on the creator. And the creator, like, it can ruin their whole week. They're kind of, fuck, like, it didn't work out and I didn't get it. And you can lose a lot of trust.
1,000%. I mean, if a creator doesn't have flash sales over the weekend, that could potentially cost the creator thousands of dollars.
Yeah, also the brand, but they
don't the brand as well, right? But from the creator side, going back to what you're asking about brands working with creators, when a creator is losing money because there's some sort of hole in the communication, that's just another opportunity where the creator is going to go look for something else.
Okay, and then like the future, right? So, Live Academy, educating creators on a very high level, group coaching, getting them to matchmake with brands, and then setting up those collaborations. I think that's of course an amazing kind of flow. Where is it gonna go? Like, okay, you have brand life now, creator life kind of separated. You were telling me it's a little bit more being integrated right now. Like, where do you see this be in like the next 1 or 2 years?
I think if I had to make a prediction, I would say that brands are going to work closely with a small handful of creators, and they may even have scheduled time slots for those creators to go live. They're never going to have more than one person live at a time, but they're going to have lives running 24/7, and brands that have products that sell well are going to have the top creators fighting for it. And brands that treat their creators, how live stream creators want to be treated, GMV max, competitive pricing. Honestly, the flash sale pricing on the live, it needs to be lower than whatever price they have running on the listing or people can buy from on the video. But that's where I see it going. I see everything tightening up, brands working with just a handful of creators, running that alongside their own live stream. And I think that brand lives can run at the same time as a creator live.
Yeah.
I think it captures almost two different markets. There's some people that just are loyal to the brand, they love the brand, they want to go buy from the brand's live stream.
But also the integration, like I think from the stories that you've told me and everything, it's like creators that do well for a brand very often can kind of integrate it into the brand's almost team sometimes, like what we've seen with Jamie and stuff. Like they do something well, a brand kind of wants them but also needs them really on board to work together with them to set up their whole thing and sometimes run their brand lives. I've seen it now a few times and I think that's very interesting, and I think that's also going to grow. Creators being pulled into kind of the brand's ecosystem to work together.
1,000%. I think a lot of the most valuable data comes from the creators, not from the numbers that we see, GMV, CTR, all these types of things. But when it comes to pricing or even just like tweaks with their products or tweaks with their marketing, things like this, maybe the messaging is just a little bit off. But like we've seen it with several creators, like you said, Jamie, Jason, we're both upstairs going live right now. They're constantly giving feedback to the brands that they work with, like, hey, we need to adjust this. Hey, we need to adjust that. When it's at this price, it sells all day. When it's $1 more, it doesn't sell at all. Yeah. And it's just such a small thing. But
the brand will not really know this because they only see the GMV numbers. It's very hard for them to track, but the creator feels it like directly. Yeah.
100%. And the questions that the creators get on their live streams, the feedback that the creators get on their live streams is invaluable to brands.
Yeah. And I think a lot of brands are not really investing into live streams. It's just like too far away, too scary. And I think that's something cool that, of course, like you are doing more and more as well. It's just like educating the brands, working together with them, getting them to understand live streaming, and then, closing the gap a lot. And I think if I look at the industry and like where it's going to go, I think most brands, at least D2C e-commerce brands, they will need eventually a few live streamers. Just a part of their whole sales channel. Okay, you have your Amazon and you also have a few live streamers going live. If it is on TikTok Shop or somewhere else, nobody knows. TikTok Shop is of course the biggest by far right now. But I think that's going to happen. I think they're like brands to prepare right now to find those live streamers, to work together with, like, for example, Live Academy, to find those collaborations. And then, of course, also for Live Academy to keep educating all those creators that are needed. Because if you look at how many brands there are, there's a need of like thousands, tens of thousands of good live streamers that will be able to work together with those brands. So I think it's a very exciting future as well.
1,000%. I think in the future, every brand is going to have just a small SEAL Team 6 of live streamers that add $10 million a year plus to their top line.
Yeah. And then if there's this close partnership, the brand is also willing to invest more because you can make agreements with the creators so you don't lose a lot of money. You can just have healthy margins. Creators can be happy. You can hire them in it for your brand lives or run it on the creators account. Yeah, there's a lot of things there. In China, there's these contracts that are like years and years for like a live streamer and a brand. You're always saying it, but I feel like it's still so early. If you see where it can go and like the amount of, for example, like live streamers doing well right now in the US, like where it is and where it's going to go, there's like so much growth still. It's very cool.
The interesting thing about live streaming, and this is what got me into live streaming myself when I first started, was that I had control. Yeah. I wasn't just posting and praying. I was like, hey, I know that I'm going to be able to produce about this much today within this range. And that's the cool thing for brands too. It's like, if you know that on average, your top streamers are able to produce 1K, 2K, 3K GMV per hour, now you can just do the math backwards. Like, all right, this is what we need to do to get to this number. And it's fully in our control. And we don't have to spend a bunch of money on GMV Max. We don't have to hope to be profitable there.
I think on the creator side as well, but also on the brand, like the videos are kind of lottery tickets, right? You just spray and as much as possible and hope that some videos pick up, or you hope you have a viral concept and then it can be duplicated. But I think the probability of a creator making their first 10 sales on a live stream compared to with videos, both will have the best coach in the world. Let's say if you do like 100 experiments, the live creator will win like 90 of them on like the first 10 sales. If you just know the concept, know how to do it and get it going, like your first sales are like, and your consistent sales are always better on live.
For sure. I think the scalability is much more predictable with live streaming and just even making the first sale. Right? It's
I agree.
So much faster, so much easier.
The weird thing is like why like it's not that big yet, but I think it's really like it needs to really adjust because like videos, people are used to buy from videos. It needs to adjust the buying kind of way of buying for customers.
For sure. And if you look at live streaming just beyond live selling, like, these Twitch streamers and these people, like they're some of the biggest, highest paid celebrities out there now. Crazy. Yeah. And I think that because that format works, people like that format. And I think that translates really well to live shopping. And so we're still very, very early. Yeah. We don't know what the future is going to look like exactly, but it's only going to grow.
I mean, those streamers, like once they start to understand, like, hey, I can put products in here, that part goes live. Like the amount of, like Alex Hormozi with his book, I think it was like 105 million or something in like 6 or 7 hours. I don't know how many hours, like maybe a little bit more. that is live streaming.
Yeah.
He takes them to the story. He gets them close to him. It is like a engaging way of going back and forward. And then he sells a product. Of course, people know him already, so it's a little bit different. But that is basically the whole concept of live streaming. Like people get to know you, they can ask questions, you answer them, you take them through the kind of journey to buy the product. It can go far.
Yeah, in my opinion, it's the most raw, authentic version of content because there are no cuts, there are no edits. Like you're just live. Like it's as close to talking face to face as you can be without, being face to face.
Yeah, it's the new buying in store, but then like not being in store. For sure. You have like somebody that can explain you the product and everything else, and then you buy the thing. I'm excited to also see everything with, of course, the creators, Live Academy, the brands that we can grow with it. And so if brands want to work with Live Academy, they can just reach out.
Yeah, brands want to work with Live Academy. The best way to reach out is probably just to send. Gosh, that's a good question. We should probably
put the link down.
Yeah, put a link in the video. We need to put something on our website for brands.
Yeah, I agree.
There we go. Bing.
Okay, all good. No, I think it's exciting. Yeah, we'll kind of keep going at it, see where it's gonna go. But today we have the event, so let's go to the event and see who is ready to live stream more here in Nashville.
Awesome. I appreciate you having me on, Jasper.
Thank you so much, Chris.
Appreciate it.